Welcome to Live, life-inspired views for every day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. I love the old folk tale, Stone Soup. It's about a traveler who entered a village looking for something to eat. These were hard times and food was scarce, so when he knocked on the door of the first house he came to and asked the woman for something to eat, she replied, "I'm as hungry as you and have no food to spare," and she closed the door. Well, the traveler walked down the path when he noticed a smooth white stone. He picked it up and returned to the house. When the woman opened the door, he told her that since she was as hungry as he wondered if she would like to share his stone soup. She asked incredulously, "Soup from a stone? Impossible." Oh, he assured her it was quite good, and that if he had a pot of boiling water, he could show her how. So he commenced to boil the stone in a pot of boiling water. He tasted the soup and said, "It's almost done, but it would taste much better with a little salt, pepper, and a bit of butter." Well, the woman got what he had asked for, and he added them to the pot as it boiled on and on. He tasted it again and said, "It's almost done, but it would taste even better with some carrots and celery." Well, the woman was sure she could find some in the garden. The story goes on like that, and soon other villagers were in on the cooking of the stone soup and adding what they had to make it even better. Eventually, the soup becomes a rich stew, feeding the entire village and reviving the relationships within it. This story came to mind when I was thinking about a little pet peeve of mine. I don't have very many pet peeves, but one of those pet peeves is the way some leaders write emails. I want to say to leaders, you are a good leader, but you would be an even better leader if you wrote emails in the same way you talk to those you lead. Now do you get the connection to stone soup? Leaders, and all of us for that matter, would be wise to take time carefully to write our emails because it is our voice. Our words become the sound of our voice as someone reads the email. How you write your email reflects you. Just for a minute, reflect how you usually write a response to an email. Do you say the person's name in your greeting? Do you write in clear and warm sentences? Are you encouraging? Are you gracious? Do you sign your name? It takes time, I know. But if you are a leader, you need to take that time because it can affect the culture around those you lead. How often do you receive a response from a leader that is one sentence or not even a sentence? Rather curt and no thank you in sight. Feel good about reading it? Or do you wonder if you were a bother to that person or asked a trite question? Those of you who grew up in the olden days like me, do you remember all the time spent in school on how to write good letters? We often talk about the fact that people often can say rude things and mean things on Facebook because it is so easy to hide there. Our emails should be transparent, loud enough to hear the real you, the kind you, the respectful and caring you. Do you ever read your emails aloud and wonder how you would respond if you received one of those you usually send? If the answer is, "I wouldn't like it," then you need to do some changing. All of us should get into the habit of reading our emails aloud before we send them, making sure things are spelled right, punctuated right, and that the words are warm, gracious, and encouraging. I think this is so important to me because my dad always told me, assign people value. You can do that so beautifully face to face with a smile, warm tone, and listening ear. But in an email, assigning value has to be reflected in your words. If you don't take the time, those who you write to will not feel valued. If you are a leader, you cannot afford that. I have leaders in mind as I write this who I always think, "Oh my, you should know better. Learn how to reflect a better you in your emails." Well, that is my soapbox for today. Please help me change the world by writing warm, gracious, and encouraging emails. People will listen to you, respond to you, and respect you when you communicate effectively. As a leader, you always should. You know, we are all leaders in some way. This week, on your bathroom mirror, write, "May my emails reflect the best of me, so those receiving them may feel valued." Join me next Monday for Live, life-inspired views for every day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.